Hi, my name is Caitlin Callahan. I'm a current student here at Connors. I am in my first semester of nursing school and I am on PLC.
Okay. I am Winnie Campbell Bowman, and I went to school here from January of 1954 to December of 1955.
Okay, that's awesome. What are some of your most memorable experiences at Connors State College?
Okay. Um, Being on the student council was a great experience for me. Met lots of very, very nice young men and women that I went to school with. I had very good teachers here. They were all very interested in the students and cared about whether the students did well or not. So it was
Okay.
a good experience for me.
Do you remember your favorite instructor or professor?
Uh, Probably Dorothy Bowen. She was my home economics teacher. She was a very, very good teacher and a very nice person. Had Miss Rimmer was who I worked for, and she was super nice too.
Oh, awesome. Can you tell me a little bit about yourself since you were a student at Connors State College?
Okay. When I left Connors, I have two brothers that went to school here, and all three of us were in college at the same time. So I decided I was going to set out a semester and work, which I did. I went to Muskogee to work. And then I met my future husband and I got married.
No.
And so I didn't go back to school.
That's okay. What did you think your life would be like, and has it gone as expected?
Well, yes. Yes, I've had a very, very good life. I lost my husband last year, and we like 24 days, making 65 years. So I've had a good life, a very good life. God's blessed me with good health.
Okay, so how'd your typical days go as a student?
Okay. I was one of the few that had 8 o'clock classes every day. So I was up, and sometimes when I went to breakfast, I would be the only female in the dining room
Oh,
in the
wow.
morning. So anyway, then I had classes, then I had work study, if that. So I had a very, very thorough, busy day. I didn't have
Yes.
much time off during the day. So anyway, but I would like to tell you about when I went to school here, we still had the football team. Wasn't a great team, but we had a football team. So this is when Dr. Jacobs was president here. So they decided when we were having homecoming, they wanted to have a bonfire. And no one was brave enough to go talk to Dr. Jacobs and ask him if I could. So guess who got to go ask him if we could have a bonfire? He approved, and we got to have our bonfire for the homecoming. Yeah,
That's awesome.
one of the things I remember.
We have some at BCM sometimes.
Yeah? When's that?
It's like once a year. And can you tell us a little bit more about your work study?
Okay. Our work study program, we were to work 20 hours per week. That paid for our room and board here while it was in. I had two brothers, one older, one younger. The oldest brother went here, and the younger brother and I were here a semester together. So, and all of us went to school on a work study scholarship. Except most of them either came on an athletic scholarship or an ag scholarship or something. Most of the students here.
Yes.
Very few of us had automobiles. I say us. I didn't. Very few students had automobiles of their own that they drove to school, and most of them went home on weekends. Most of the students went home on weekends. You know, there was no movie here, so if we went to a movie, we had to go to Muskogee. We only had one restaurant here, and it was way over on the east side of town. And so I lived in this building right here. The girls lived upstairs. The boys lived in the north wing. This would have been a boys' room here. And so, anyway, when we couldn't get out at night to go places, the boys could, the girls couldn't. So, what we would do, you may not want to put this in there, we would put our money and our order in a basket. And one of the screens was loose, so we would put the basket down, and the guys would go get our food, and then we'd bring it.
Okay. So you had mentioned that you were on the alumni board. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yes, my friend Carol called, and she says, we're desperate. We've got to have some help to keep the alumni going,
Mm-hmm.
and asked if I would serve. And so at that time, where the nursing program is in Tulsa, in Muskogee now, was where the Muskogee office was, there by the Muskogee campus, and that's where we met first, there at that building for quite a few years there before they moved us down here. But when Carol called me, we had no money to operate on, none whatsoever. So most most of us divvied in so we could get newsletters out, we could get some word out, and everything was on us to try to keep it, and we just kept working a little bit, working until Dr. Tim got here. When Dr. Tim got here, he was so much help to us, gave us everything we needed, helped us with everything he could to help us to keep our alumni association going. So since then, it's been in pretty good shape. And so I served until my sister-in-law became ill, and I had the responsibility of taking care of her and my husband at the same time. So that's when I resigned from the board. And that's only been, 2-3 years ago, I guess we did. So, but we got a lot of younger people on the board, and it is now working very well. So I am very happy about that. So,
What was your major when you were a student here?
I was a home ec major.
Okay.
I came to Connors because I wanted to be an airline stewardess. And you had to have 2 years of college to do that. And you'd be surprised, but we had to have home ec hours in that. Well, come to find out, I was a half an inch too short. The requirements to be a stewardess then was very, very, very strict. You had to be over 5'2", and your weight had to be in proportion with your height, and you couldn't wear glasses, and there was no such thing as contacts then, people. So anyway, but then after I came, I just majored in home ec. I was going to go on to be a home economics teacher, and I would have had to go to OSU to do that. Well, at that time, both my brothers were still in college too. So anyway, I did go to Northeastern and get some more hours, but I never did finish my degree altogether. So I should have, but I raised 3 great kids instead. I have one that's nuclear engineering. He is retired. Wow. He's now retired. I have one that's a minister that has his master's degree. And I have a daughter that's a special ed teacher, and she has her master's degree. And I have a stepdaughter that is a nurse. So I consider my life very successful. God's been good to me.
Okay, and are there any words of wisdom you'd like to pass along to current and future students?
Yes. I would like to encourage them to be good students, to learn, so that when they go to another school or when you go into further nursing school, that those grades and that behavior goes with you, and it goes a long way towards
Yes.
getting that degree.
Absolutely.
Okay? Yeah.